All right, let's get right into it. As an athlete, you are always on the move, right? City to city, hotel to hotel. But have you ever really stopped to think about what all that travel does to your digital security? Well, today, we're going to break down the exact playbook you need to protect your accounts, your data, and your privacy whenever you're away from home.
And that, right there, is the absolute truth. You know, the security habits that keep you safe at home, they're just not going to cut it when you're traveling. The whole game changes, and your defensive strategy has to change right along with it. Honestly, if you remember one thing, let it be this.
So let's kick things off with the why. Why is being on the road so much riskier in the first place? Think about it like this. It's your away game disadvantage. You're on someone else's turf in an unfamiliar environment, and that's exactly what attackers are counting on.
Now, you're going to hear this term attack surface. So what does that actually mean? Well, put simply, it just means there are way more opportunities for someone to target you. When you travel, your routines get all messed up, you're tired, you're connecting to new networks you don't trust, and you're surrounded by strangers. Every single one of those things creates a new opening for an attack.
And these are the biggest threats you're going to face out there. We're talking about everything from a fake Wi-Fi network at the coffee shop to someone, physically messing with your laptop in your hotel room. Don't worry, we're going to break down each and every one of these so you know exactly what to look for. Okay, this is absolutely crucial. Your defense doesn't start at the airport. It starts before you even pack your bags. Just like you do a physical warm-up, this digital warm-up is a simple, non-negotiable checklist that gets you ready for the road.
And look how easy this is. This is a 5-step routine that takes, a few minutes? First up, update everything. Your phone, your laptop, your apps. Next, back up your important data. Third, make sure multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is turned on for your key accounts. Fourth, flick on Find My Device, just in case. And last, and this one is so important, go into your settings and turn off Auto Connect to Wi-Fi. All right, it's game time. You've done the prep, and now you're out there in transit. This is when you have to be actively on defense, at the airport, in the rideshare, and especially inside that hotel. Let's talk about the single biggest trap out there, public Wi-Fi. Attackers love to set up these fake networks called evil twins. Now look really closely here. See the fake network on the right? For the hotel Wi-Fi, they swapped the letter L for a capital I. For the airport one, they used a lowercase l and the number 1 instead of the i's. They're so subtle. But these little tricks are designed to get you to connect to their network by mistake. So what happens if you accidentally connect to one of those fake networks? Well, one of the biggest dangers is something called session token theft. The best way to get this is the valet key metaphor. The attacker doesn't need your password. That's your master key. Instead, they steal your active login, which is kind of like a temporary valet key that lets them right into your accounts.
So what are the rules for public networks? Super simple. Rule number 1, your phone's own cellular hotspot is always the safer bet. Rule number 2, if you absolutely have to use that public Wi-Fi, you have to use a VPN. And rule number 3, this one's non-negotiable. Never, ever log into your bank, your email, or your social media on public Wi-Fi unless that VPN is on and running, period.
Okay, let's move on to the next threat you see everywhere these days, those public USB charging ports at airports and cafes. The risk here has a name. It's called juice jacking. That's when a hacker modifies one of those ports to secretly load malware onto your phone or just suck data right out of it, all while you think you're just getting a simple charge.
The good news is the defense against this is incredibly easy. Your best bet, option A, is to just use your own stuff, your own portable power bank and your own wall plug. But if you're in a pinch and have to use a public port, get yourself a USB data blocker. It's this tiny little gadget that plugs in first and physically blocks any data from getting through. It only lets the power in.
The second you set foot in your hotel room, your defense keeps going. Seriously, before you even drop your bags, just take 10 seconds and do a quick room sweep. You're just doing a fast scan for anything that seems weird or out of place. Tiny cameras hiding in clocks, any USB chargers you didn't bring, or any strange blinking lights. Now for a pretty advanced but really serious threat, the SIM swap. So here's how this works. An attacker basically tricks your mobile provider. They call them up, pretend to be you, and convince them to transfer your phone number over to a SIM card that they control. As soon as that happens, they start getting all your texts, including those super important security codes for logging in. So, how in the world do you stop this? First, call your mobile carrier right now and add a strong PIN or password to your account. It makes it way harder for them. Second,
For your most important accounts, stop using text messages for authentication and switch to an authenticator app. And finally, keep an eye out. If your phone suddenly loses all service for no reason, that is a huge red flag that you might be a victim of a swap.
And finally, let's talk about the digital cooldown. You're back home, you've unpacked, but the job's not quite done yet. You need to do one last check to make sure you didn't bring any digital threats home with you.
This is your post-trip checklist. It's easy. First, log into your big accounts, your Google, your Apple ID, Instagram, and just look at the login history. See any weird locations or devices? Next, just to be safe, change the passwords for any accounts you used on public Wi-Fi. And last, give your phone a quick scan for any new apps you don't remember installing or any strange Bluetooth connections.
So there you have it, the pre-trip warm-up, the game-time defense, and the post-trip cooldown. The entire playbook is yours now. So the only real question left is, as you're thinking about that next trip you've got planned, what's the very first security habit you're going to change to lock down your digital life?